Hey everybody, and welcome to the Creativity Cave. I'm so excited to share with you a project that features all kinds of fun new things that are going to be coming to you starting January 4th in just a couple of days. So our project today is going to feature some cool techniques that I think you're going to love, as well as lots of tips and tricks to make them happen. So let me get started. I am going to be using one of my favorite new products, which is the Butterflies and Flowers Layering Decorative Masks. Now these masks are really cool. They're a little different than what we've had in the past. They're a little smaller, so they're kind of sized for cards, which is kind of cool. And then there's different pieces and parts that are built for layering. So you can see there's different shapes, different flowers, and so you can layer different images together to create really cool looks. And as you can see, there's butterflies, there's flowers, there's backgrounds, all kinds of things. I'm going to focus today on this part of the stencil, which is just the best. I love it. I've got some great tips for you on this one as well. And then we're also going to use this to emboss a background. So I'll show you how to do that here in just a moment. Now, all of these things are, like I said, going to be available starting January 4th from our upcoming mini catalog and celebration brochure. Now, if you would like a copy of these, please send me an email with your mailing address so I can get one out to you. If you don't already have a demonstrator, I'd be happy to send one to you. Okay, so I'm going to start with a piece of basic white cardstock, and I want to position the this beautiful stencil on here, and I want this more bold design, meaning there's bigger open spaces. This one is the more detailed one because the spaces are smaller, okay? So I'm just going to position this on here like so. I guess this is a little bit opposite of my sample, but that doesn't matter. And I'm going to be using two colors to do this. I've got some pale papaya and some flirty flamingo. You could also use polished pink. That would look really nice as well. All right. So I'm going to start with my lightest color, and I'm going to take my blending brush. And it helps to have a little bit of paper behind to your work surface so that you don't get ink everywhere. And then the other thing on a stencil like this where there's other pieces involved, I want to make sure I'm masking those off so I'm not accidentally stenciling them on my cardstock that I'm working with. So I'm just going to take a Post-it note to cover that little bit up. It's not too much on this one. Okay, so I'll ink up my blending brush, kind of get rid of that first little bit of ink, and then I'm just going to blend over this image. If you are worried about going off the edge, you might also, I'm going to carefully move this, put a piece right here so that you don't go off the edge and have a straight line on your surface, on your tag. That would be kind of a bummer. Okay, the other thing is if you position the Post-it sticky part right, it will also hold your stencil in place. Another option for that is to put it on your Stamparatus and use the magnet to hold it in place too. Okay, so that looks good. All right, now let's reveal the magic. This is always my favorite part. Okay, so there we go. But we want this to be, I mean, this is nice, but we can make it amazing. And to make it amazing, we're going to flip the stencil and line this back up and then do some more, add some more color. Now, it does take just a little bit of finesse to line it up. And by the way, this is much easier if you're not looking through a camera. Okay, so basically I don't want to see any of the white spaces. I want those to be covered because we want those white spaces to still be white when we're done with this. Okay, so that looks pretty good. Now on this one, I'm going to use a couple more Post-its. So that one's going to kind of hang off the end and hold everything in place. This one is going to cover up that flower. And then I think I'm going to grab one more to cover up this flower over here. So I find Post-its to be a staple in my stamping. So if you don't have any in your stamping area, go Post-it shopping. It is the best. I love to Post-it shop. Okay. Post-its are just the best. All right, so I've got some ink on my blending brush, this time in Flirty Flamingo, and I'm going to just sponge all over. And we'll pick up a little bit more and add a little more. And it really helps, especially if you need to reload your blending brush, to have that Post-it overhang to kind of hold everything into place. Again, you could do this with your Stamparatus as well, with the magnets to hold things just sitting on the Stamparatus base. Okay, now let's do the big reveal. My favorite part. Da, da, da. Isn't that gorgeous? Oh, I just love this. So now you can see, we can still see the white lines, but we have all this cool detail that's lined perfectly up, which just makes me so happy. Okay, now we want to turn this into a tag, and this is much larger than any of our tag punches or anything. So what I'm just going to do is snip that corner off. Okay, then I'm going to take the piece that I just snipped off. I'm going to flip it over and line it. Oh, that didn't go very well. I'm going to flip it over right here and then use that as a guide to snip this corner, and then they'll be even. How's that for a really handy tip? Okay, and now I won't have one at like one angle and one at another angle. Okay, so there's my tag. Now, I told you we were going to use another stencil to emboss, so let me show you how I'm going to do that, as well as the sandwich for my machine. Now, every machine is a little bit different, so just be aware of that. But what I'm going to do is take my plate from my machine. This is the base plate with no thin die adapter. I'm going to put down one piece of plastic. Okay. Then I'm going to put down a silicone craft mat. Okay. I'll put my stencil, or I'm going to put my cardstock down, my stencil over the top, and then I'm going to take and put my gray plate on top. This is usually what we use for using our thick embossing, 3D embossing folders. Okay, I'm going to run that through my machine and I'll be right back. And when I do that, this is what I get. How awesome is that? So now we have all of the possibilities for our embossing folders. So it's pretty cool. I'm really digging these stencils, so I hope that you guys are going to love them too. Pardon me, decorative masks. You know, I got to use the lingo. Okay, so let's put our card together. I'm going to take some of the ribbon. This is from the Flowers for Every Season ribbon combo pack, and I'm just going to tie myself a little bow, kind of freehand out in the wilderness here. And then we'll add this to our tag. Oh, so pretty. We definitely want to make sure that the focus is on our amazing masking. So I didn't do anything too crazy as far as embellishments on here. But there's one other product, and we're going to pop this up, so let me do that. There's one other product or a couple other products that I want to share with you. So I'm also going to use a new set of our dies, and they are called, hold on, the Amazing Thanks dies. Okay. So the set of dies has layers, and it die cuts the words amazing and, you are amazing and thanks. So we're going to use the thanks today. So I'll just position that on here. We'll glue dot our bow to our tag, and then we're going to do that amazing and thanks. So I have die cut this from the Supple paper. There's kind of a pink shade and kind of an iridescent-y shade that comes in this pack of glitter paper. It's so pretty. Now, the cool thing about these dies is that there are the detail dies and then kind of the layer dies. So I'm going to put those on as well. I'm going to use that silicone craft mat, but this time I'm going to use it with a little bit of liquid glue. So we've used this for both embossing and for gluing. Now, personally, I have two separate ones, one that I do the gluing with and one that I can keep for like the embossing, just because I don't want to have issues with glue getting in places I don't want it, you know, when I emboss. Okay, so I'm going to take my sponge here and put this down. And by the way, Ramona, if you're watching, don't worry, I've got you. Okay. So I'm going to just position this right on here like so. Get everything lined up and voila, it fits on there really nicely. So I've just got the vellum layer and then the glitter thanks. Doesn't that look awesome? Okay, so let's position that onto our card. And this time I'm going to take my liquid glue and just put it in a few spots on the back. Now my T is going to kind of hang over the edge, so I'm just going to do a few little lines on the letters because I don't want my adhesive to kind of ooze out really. Okay, so we'll just put thanks across here, and notice I'm leaving kind of opening centers of flowers open. Sorry, that's what I'm trying to say. I'm positioning this so the flower centers are open, and then I can put embellishments in them. So I wasn't going to go crazy on the embellishments, but we do have these new polished dots, and they have kind of a pinky haze and a clear haze to them, which of course, you know, we're going to color with other colors, but for today's card, they just kind of are perfect as is. Okay, so I'll just put a couple small ones and a couple larger ones on here with my take your pick tool. And we'll put, let's see, I'm going to take a larger one for the two larger flowers, and I'm doing the tinted color. Okay, and then I'll take two of the smaller ones for these smaller flowers, and oh my gosh, look at how cool that is. It just kind of takes on the color of the spot you place it on. So that's pretty cool. Now we're going to take all of this and put it on a pale papaya card base. And what a fun card, full of cool techniques. Now, of course, all of these supplies will be available for purchase in my online store starting on Tuesday the 4th. And also, it is the start of celebration. Oh, look at me using liquid glue to adhere this card. It is also the start of celebration, which is the best time of year. We've got all kinds of new free goodies for every $50 or $100 that you spend in my online store. So you can get all kinds of awesome goodies. So if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out in the comments below. I'm happy to answer them. Otherwise, thank you guys so much for stamping. I've got one more day of vacation and then I'm back in full force. It's been really great to get a break. But I am looking forward to seeing you on Monday during my live at 5 p.m. Central. So I hope you'll join me. We'll look at all kinds of fun new goodies in the catalog, and I will see you all then. Thanks, guys. Happy stamping. Bye-bye.